So yellow does do armed intervention against me, which was pretty expected. Develops rockets. Finishes space flight. For 26, plays reserves. Increases population, builds a temple for another culture, and happiness, potentially, for impact of happiness. See, blue did not play an event. Interesting. So upgrades his swordsman, military buildup, upgrades, revolutionary idea, military theory, upgrades a mine, plays reserves, and then that was all, and has corruption. So played reserves just for the heck of it at the end. Okay, this is the final turn. And I don't need to look at yellow's hand, I don't think. What did yellow have before? Yeah, yellow played one of these, then didn't play again. We would guess impact of government or agriculture. One of the two is what he played there. So I don't need to look at his hand. Red did play an event. We think it's impact of competition. Let's just take a look and see what blue has. Okay, nothing useful to know. All right, so our turn. We're about to reveal this event. Now I am not one of the two strongest. So crime wave. Oh, I am actually the weakest, so refugees might kind of suck here. But we got to do it. We got to play this. I mean, this is a lot of culture. So let's go ahead and do it and see what happens. I am the weakest, but I get to choose what to give him. So that's good. It's probably going to be either, oh, well, food. I don't need this food for anything. Can't use it. So we'll give him the food. What are we going to do with this freedom of movement here? So I think just looking at what we might do with this turn, we want to do something like finish the wonder. We want to do an air force to get stronger. So impact of industry is not in there, so we don't have to worry about that. So now impact of competition, we get some culture from the Air Force, and we're stronger than red for impact of strength. I don't think we can reasonably get stronger than blue though. So this is as good as we can do. So with 2 actions left, what do we do? This journalism is giving us 2 culture, and we don't need the science anymore. There's no impact of science. And it won't impact of balance because food production is lower. So if we get rid of one of these journalisms, we can put it on theology. So it's 1 culture less, but we get 2 happy faces for impact of happiness, which we suspect is here. So I can't put it there, but what I could do, I could move it there with freedom of movement. So if we just look at this situation, there's a problem here potentially for impact of harmony. Impact of agriculture is not as good. Impact of balance, not as good. So 3 things this impacts. If we put that there, we pay 2 culture for potentially 2 for balance, 4 for harmony, and 5 for agriculture. I think that's a fair trade. So then there's the idea of, well, we can put this journalism onto theology for 1 culture less, but 2 happy faces. And I think it's worth that trade at this point. So that means I would go back to here. And I don't want to move off of the journalism initially to theology because then internet would be worth less. So instead we take it off of iron and move that to theology. So this actually gives us 1 extra culture for the wonder. So that's good. Now we develop Air Force. We are actually going to pull 2 off of the journalism. So that's 4 culture we just pulled off of here. We get... No, we don't put it on here. We already put the one on here. But for that 4 culture, what we're doing is getting 3 culture from impact of competition. So we basically get 2 of the culture back with that 3 plus anything for impact of strength. So the other 2 culture, we're wagering here that 1 of balance or agriculture or harmony will hit. And I think that's a good gamble. So this is our turn. I don't think we're going to get first. We're going to be at 147, so we're 15 behind, and I think yellow outperforms us on impacts, but I don't think blue can catch us here. And that's good. So let's end this turn and see how the game ends. Harmony is in there. So we got that 4 culture back. That's good. I think blue catches up a little bit here. 28 points for impact of harmony. Impact of government, we think yellow played that. Impact of culture was me. So that's good. Impact of competition was red. And impact of happiness, we thought that was there too. So yeah, impact of ag was not there. Oh, wait, there's one more. Strength or agriculture or balance. Balance. Yep, that one I think got played pretty early. Oh, wow. Look at that. Red pulled into 2nd place with that. That's super close. Okay, well, good game. I wonder if I could have found 3 culture somewhere in there. Okay, well, I guess that's a little disappointing, but I am pretty happy. We beat blue, which is what we needed to do for the league, and so good game. All right, and with game 5 of 7 wrapped up, the results look like this. So in our last game, Kaimel got 1st place, I got 2nd, JFK got 3rd. So this is an unfortunate result of Sleepwalker timing out, is that he just automatically goes into 4th place. So that stuck me into 2nd, even though they ended up 3 points ahead of me. So it's unfortunate, but that's the way the rules are. Because there's really just no way to know what the AI would have done versus a player and how that would have affected the results in the end. And in this 3-player game, JK Mushi beat Inko. So when I decided at the beginning of all of these videos, I decided to present them in order, so present the games from 1 to 7. But the games really didn't end chronologically in order like this, so it can sometimes be confusing when moves in the game are made based on the current standings in the season. It's a little bit out of context, but I think in this case I'm just going to finish this out like this for this season and do game 6 and 7 next. So game 6 will be a 3-player game for us. But with game 5 completed, this is the standings currently. So it's very close. Kaimel and I are tied for 1st place. I believe he is we're tied for 1st and 2nd, but I believe he's in 1st place because he has more 1st place finishes in the tournament. Then JK Mushi, JFK, Inko are the rest of the rankings. So it's very close, coming down to the wire in the 6th and the 7th games. So the 6th game will be up next. I hope to see you there. Thanks for sticking around through all the turns of this game. We'll see you next time. Thanks.